Okay, everybody. So we're back. We're here. We got another video. This time, we're gonna be doing the passenger seat on the Legacy. We have the Sti Seat right here. This is the last one we got to get in. We have the old Legacy seat right there and a big jumble of mess. First things first. I'm gonna go in. We're gonna get this battery disconnected, and we're gonna go from there. Battery's disconnected. I'll come around to the passenger side and we'll head in here and we'll start moving everything to get the bolts out of here. Same as the other for the driver's seat, if you've watched that video. Removing the passenger seat, same thing. A little Velcro clip right here. You can get to the bolts right there. They are, I believe, a 12 mil or a 14 mil, I'm sorry. And then you have another one, same thing, right under there. This is all just Velcro. Take that bolt out, then slide the seat forward, come on around to the back here, and you can get to these bolts right back under the clip here, and another one right underneath this cover that just pops right off, and that's another 14 route right there. So let me grab the impact gun and we'll zip those off. This bolt back here is being a bit of a pain, so we're just gonna crack it loose with the ratchet. Looking at the side of the seat here real quick, one thing I did forget to mention, there's this little panel right here. You're just gonna take either a flathead or a pry tool or plastic pry tool, whatever you have. You're just gonna go behind here and pop this out. And then you're gonna go on this side over here, and you're just gonna get in here and pop that out. And now you'll see it's free. You can just go in here and you can just fish it out. Now that that's out, we can gain access to get the seatbelt out. Because the seatbelt is mounted to it, unlike the driver's side where it's got the, what do I call it? It doesn't actually mount to it. On the driver's side, it mounts to the B-pillar. This we have to remove before we can get the seat actually out of the vehicle. To avoid the possibility of stripping it, I use the ratchet to crack it loose, and I'll just use the impact to get it all the way off. And this can just get removed out of here. I think there's a washer on the back. Yeah, there's a little spacer on the back here, so just be careful it doesn't come out with it. And there's a little metal rod in here that it kind of holds it in with. So just like that, you're just gonna fish it out from between here, and now it'll just be hanging. Now you're all free, and now we're gonna go and lift the seat back up and undo all the wires. Now that we're underneath the seat, here's what everything looks like. Got a wire here, wire there, big wire right here, one back there, then three right here. Now I'm just gonna go through and unplug all these so we can get the seat on out of here. Now that we have everything unplugged from underneath of here, here's the whole entire loom. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires. And this black one right here was not plugged into anything. I didn't have to unplug it at all. If you go back and watch my video on doing the driver STI seat, you'll see how to undo this clip very easily. It's a little tricky, especially this one, because it's tucked up in there, and getting the green tab pushed in and pulling this out can be a little difficult. I know for me, doing the driver's seat, it took me genuinely like 10 minutes. But yeah, if you go back and watch that video, you'll see how to get these out really easily. Everything wire-wise looks the same from the driver's seat, except for this big clip right here, which seems to attach to a lot more. Everything else is a part of the seat and can just stay up in there. Other than that, I'm gonna get the seat pulled out from inside of here, and we'll be all good to go on proceeding forward with getting everything swapped over accordingly. Well, here's what we're left with. We have all our tools over here. It's very messy in here. It looks like we have enough change for dinner later, and we have a big old mess. Same thing as the other side. I'm gonna carpet scrub this, get all the dirt and crap and mix match everything. It's disgusting. Out from inside of all these jams, and go from there. So other than that, it's going to be a nice vacuum job in here, quick scrubbing, and we'll be on to getting everything from that seat swapped over into our Sti seat over there, which you can maybe see, and then we'll go from there. We have both seats, Sti seat and Legacy seat, laid on their backs so that we can get things pulled off of them. I kind of started bringing tools down and looking at some things. First things first, on the Legacy seat, you can see I kind of started working on it just to get an idea of what we're looking at here. First thing I did, I went and I took these side panels off. These side panels go on quite easy. Obviously you just got to lift the handle and finagle it off. When it's on there, you'll see under the handle, we already took this piece off upstairs when we were taking out the side seat belt. You'll see right here is a hole for a Phillips head screw. Right back there is as well. And then on the back side of it, there's one as well. So just be careful of that, and then when you do it, you're going to lift up on the handle a couple times to move things around. Other than that though, you'll be able to pop it right out. This also has a couple push tabs on the back that are right there that you just got to give it a good yank. It won't break, or shouldn't break. Then this one has a Phillips head screw here and a Phillips head screw on the back as well. That goes right on over onto this side, which is, grab the flashlight, goes right here, covers this mechanism here and the seatbelt right there, which I've also removed just because I've already showed you how to remove it once before. This is where the seatbelt goes, right down in here. Just held on by this screw. Same thing, it's a T50 just like before. And we're just going to pop this off and fish the wire out. Alrighty, and now with everything out of the way, Legacy buckle over there along with everything else. We are back under the Legacy seat right now. You can see all the wires and everything. Now, we need to get this upholstery off. And it's pretty straightforward how you're going to do that. So obviously the seat is all the way down and everything, and underneath this flap, you're going to see this little black section. And it's just a cupped area. What you're going to do, when it's sitting on this bar down here, you're just going to take a flathead, and you're going to go up in underneath of it, and just flip it up and pry it out. That goes around the whole perimeter of the seat. And down right here. It's back here as well. So just keep an eye on that. Pull everything off, and once you get everything off, you can flip the seat back, and this is what you're left with. And now don't force it too much because it's still held in by the occupancy sensor, which is hard to find, but it's this cord right down where my hand is. There's a cord right down here, which right there, you can probably see. So I'm working on getting that out now, and once I have that out, or unplugged better yet, and get the cushion off, I will show you from there. Looking at the back of the seat now, before I remove anything else, what I'm doing, I'm just trying to figure out like tracing wires and everything, to gain more room to anything like that when we go to do anything with the back cushion if need be. I'm just going to remove this backing tray. It's just held in with a bunch of clips. Take a flathead, just go around the perimeter, and just pop everything out, and throw that aside. And then you gain access to the back panel. So, like I left you guys off with, we have this is the lower cushion. This just fully slid right off. All that's holding it on now, we have this plug, and this green wire. I don't really know if I should unplug it quite yet. It goes to the top part of the seat. And now it looks like I've done a lot with this seat, but I really have not. This is just the covering that goes over top of the seat here. What I've done to get where we are now with the seat is very simple. I have taken, you'll see the seat wraps around and has the same tabs as we had on the bottom. These little hook tabs, all they do is they just hook on to these metal rails right here. And what I did is I just took my flathead yet again, right here, and just unclipped them from the metal tab. After that's all done, you can peel everything all over top of the seat, peel it out from around here, and now we have this back panel. So what I did to get this back panel off is it's just a bunch of little hooks that hold it on. These hook underneath the metal bars. Literally just undo it from around there. And when you get up to the top here, you'll see it's normally clicked in a smaller hole. You want to just slide it to the right. There's two, so you just want to slide it and pop it out. And now this whole piece is out, and you have duct tape on it from the factory to hold the cushion to the backing. Set that over in your pile of stuff, and now, as you can see, we're pretty much all fully disassembled and we're down to the bare metal frame. So let me see what else we got to do from here, and we'll go from there. So I took the cushioning section right here. This is still on the Legacy seat. We still have yet to touch the Sti Seat. So it sits over it just like this. All you got to do is just poke it out from around these little tabs, and everything literally just slides right off. Be careful no wires are caught. We have those two wires down there, and now we can set those two cushions aside. You have your side airbag over here, and here is the wire associated with it. Now we're just going to leave all that to the side, and you can see on the bottom of our frame, if I can get this moved, on the bottom of our frame, we still have all of our airbag stuff. So now it's just a matter of getting all those components over to this one, but I gotta figure out that wire still over there for those two cushions, because that is the occupancy sensor that we need to transfer into there, which is the whole reason we have to do this. Alright, next thing's next. So we have the metal backing. We're gonna have a 14mm bolt right here, 14mm bolt right here, and same thing on the opposite side. We're gonna end up taking those off here, and from there, this backing should come right off and lift off by us removing those. Update on things. So I got the cushion section off with a bunch of these hog ties. I'm not too sure if I even need that cushion or if we can just take that one and put it on there. I got the heater element out, which isn't really relevant. I'm just not going to waste the time to put it back in. The passenger doesn't need it. This is the upper part. Underneath here is the same thing. It's just the heater element right there. I'd been trying to figure out what the occupancy sensor even looked like. I thought it was inside of the seat, but I'm totally wrong. It's been right in front of my face the whole time. Right there, occupancy sensor. So everything aside, this is definitely a lot of involved stuff. Very involved process. Definitely an all-day job. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to start taking apart the Sti Seat, which is terrifying. But I'm going to do it together and we'll get it right. So here we go. Let me start taking this apart and I'll bring you along for the ride. First things first, in the Sti Seat, you're going to remove the seatbelt buckle right here with our T50 bit. Now that the seatbelt is actually unbuckled or unbolted from the seat, I'm just going to go around and undo all these little tabs right here so that I can undo the wire and just fish it out from underneath here. Get the seatbelt out of the way because this one's going to become irrelevant. Now with that seatbelt all removed, now I'm just going to start popping off these side panels, which are just those Phillips heads like I had showed you on the other seat. So I'm going to pop this one off and the one on the other side, then we'll go from there as well. Awesome. Now that we have these side panels all off of the seat, what we're going to do next is we're going to go under here and we're just going to start removing all of this to be able to get the cushion off. And as you can see, it's very easy to just work it with your hands and get this section off of here. Just like that. And that's what you're going to do for the sides there and underneath this flap. Once you just pull this little strap off of here, it just unhooks on both sides, just like that. There you go. And you can see right there. That's what I'm talking about. Just gonna pop that off. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. Awesome, so now that we have everything done on the bottom of the seat for getting the cushion unhooked from that bottom section I just showed you, we're gonna come back over to the sides, try and get this top piece off of here. These are 14 mil, so I'm going to swap out to the 14 right here. And then from there, what we're going to do is, I think this is the 14. Yep, so we're going to get the 14, take these off, pop the top part off, and just see if it's going to still bolt right up to our frame right here. So let me check that, and then we'll go from there on getting this bottom off and switched over to the legacy frame. Now that we have those 4 bolts right here removed, now what we're going to do is, actually I'll show you. So I'd use a box wrench for this bolt right here. The handle, if you pull it out some or pull it up, it still blocks that hole. You can't get like a ratchet or an impact in there, so you have to use a crescent end box wrench. Not too bad, just a little, a little tricky. Other than that, back pops right off, and there's the same 2 wires we had before. One is for the airbag, just like right here on our legacy one. So I'm guessing we're gonna cut this end off of the legacy airbag right there, cut this connector off, and we're probably gonna end up putting it on this one, similar to how we did the driver's seat. So hopefully that's the case. This one's a little weird, so it's got this white wire that comes up right here. This is the one that goes over, and oh wait, actually, this wire right here, yeah, okay. So yeah, so it's for this white connector, which I believe is for the heated seats, so that's probably just to heat the back section as well. So that's definitely also gonna have to come off, or just get tucked away elsewhere. So let me, let me pop these clips out right here so that we can fully get this separated and not holding on at all, and go from there as well. STI base, STI top. For the base, it looks like it's a little different actually than the Legacy, the way that's held on. So it kind of makes sense why we're putting this on here, but it concerns me for how does it stay on here, because I don't see any way for it to be on without, these types of rails. So it looks like same thing, 14 mil bolts. I'll just clarify here. No, they're actually 12 mil maybe. Yep, so 12 mil bolts on the side here. So you have one here, looks like one down here as well, and the same thing on the other side. So let me take those off and go from there. But we do have that fully separated over there. That is for the heated seat with the blue connector, and then obviously airbags are always yellow connectors. After we removed all 4 of these bolts right here, I've just kind of put everything in piles. We've removed these bolts. Now the seat is off of the rail. As far as everything goes, we're just going to flip this over. Underneath, you'll see we have all our airbag wires, and it's very, very different than how this one was set up. So on the Legacy, when we removed the cushion, or the way we removed the cushion, pretty much left the frame with all this metal material and the harness section with it. In this case, this stays with the cushion compared to staying with the frame. So what we're going to do now is, much like these black clips down here that we removed in the beginning, now we're going around the perimeter again, and we're removing these white clips. So same way as before, kind of get your fingers under it and pop it out. It's kind of hard with just one hand, so go around and do those. I already did this one, got to do that one up there, and then from there I believe this cushion should pop off. There's a couple of Velcro sections on the corner, so just make sure you don't go tugging at it and rip that. And remember, these wires as well are staying with this, so just be careful of that. And easy as that, now we have the whole metal framing with the occupancy wiring harness and everything all out and away. Very strange looking at the different form of occupancy sensor. In this case, on the WRX seat, the occupancy sensor is actually just this pad, which is strange. But now, as far as everything goes, now we have the cushion. I think we can use this padding and just move it over to the Legacy frame, but I'm gonna just double and triple check my work and go from there. Now we have the cushion section on the seat. I have it on here pretty solid. All I did was take these loops, took this long Phillips head, just slid it through the loop and pushed it on down so that it wrapped around this metal corner. Did the same thing on the other side. Over here, it looks a little messy. I need to figure out how to fix this because there is another one of these here. I don't know if I'm just gonna cut that out or what I'm gonna do, or if it's really relevant or what the deal is, but I gotta figure that out. Other than that, I think that's really about it as far as all that goes. I just gotta figure out a way to kind of tuck this down here a little better. There's just not really anything to hook stuff onto, as you can see. So, we just gotta figure that out. Other than that, once we have that on, all I'm gonna do is take the facial panel, and it's, in a sense, just gonna end up looking like this when we're finished. So just gotta figure that out. Update on everything so far. So I have gotten the cushion on. Cushion, installing it, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It all sits on there correctly. It's just attaching it. None of these clips work or line up. As you can see, like, this one doesn't stretch far enough. Everything I read online, people were saying, like, you can cut the fabric and extend it and do this, do that. So I just went with the typical car person go-to. I just took a bunch of zip ties and zip tied the hell out of it in the front and in the back. And as far as the cushion goes, like, if I move this, like, the cushion doesn't move. So now I'm just going around and snipping all these zip ties to make it look uniform. Other than that, we'll be getting the back on here in a second. Here's what it looks like with the new cushion on. Like I said, there's just some areas that don't line up. I had to cut a little bit here to make that fit. Coming over here, same thing, just, you know, I mean, it's a lot of stretching, a lot of stuff to make it work. Alright everybody, so we're back now. I took a little bit of a break because I had other stuff I had to get done. This is later at night, so I'm only going to get probably a little bit more done. We have, as you saw, this is the bottom cushion. Everything's on here, all good to go. This is the top. I thought the top from the STI, I haven't modified or done anything with this yet. I thought this, with the bolts and everything, would just bolt right to this. It kind of lines up. Just undid the zippers on the side over here and over here. And down here there's just a tab that you just flip, like the black section we had been doing before. Just flip that up, use the flathead, and now you're in. So from here, I'm going to flip it over. Alrighty everyone, so this is the following day. I just had to run out and pick up a angle grinder, which I know sounds awful for a seat install. But I got a metal cutting blade. The only modification we have to make to this seat, if you'll see over here, I already started cutting. You need to cut this like lip right here off so that this is flat. Same with this side over here. That's just so that it allows for you to be able to move the seat to line the bolt holes up. So I'm going to do that now, and then we'll proceed with the seat install. Now, up here, I don't really think I'll need that grinded off, but I can if I need. Other than that, I might have to do that front section now that I look at it, but I'll update you guys. Same with that one. But I got this back section grinded off here as well. And that one, you just gotta be careful of that pin right there because you're in for a world of trouble if you end up cutting that off. Next, I'm gonna be swapping this airbag right here out of the Sti Seat. I'm going to be putting this one from the Legacy seat frame right here. It's the same bolts, it's just two 10 mils that I have right here. I'm going to take that on and just undo those two 10 mils, and it should come right off of the bracket. Let me do that now, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright, so I got the old airbag out. That's off to the side. I have the new one in right here, and I'm just going to fish this wire right here. Just going to kind of fish it down through the back and out through the foam here. And just like that. So there we are. New airbag, or technically old airbag, off the Legacy. And we're going to see if it mounts right up to this seat now that I have these tabs cut. So fingers crossed that that works. Alrighty everyone. Well, the what we've been looking to achieve the whole time, we have finally done. We have the seat all together and it fully functions. I just tried using the recliner feature and it fully works. We have our airbag in. There's our old one right there. We have a whole entire mess of just everything. Getting the back on, I don't know if anyone else who's done it has had this issue, but here's the problem I had. When installing the back section, I ran into a problem where the bolts would not line up. I could get the bottom ones in, but the front ones were too far away. So what I did, I took this drill right here, and this is a step bit, and I just rounded it out a little bit. I did it while the seat was off, so I didn't hit any of the threads, and I was able to get it all in no problem. Next thing's next. What I've done, this is on the left side, so the side closest to the transmission tunnel. I have put the seatbelt back on using the, using the T50. Just got it back on here. And I remembered that this was a legacy one because it had this orange dot on it, or a yellow dot. And then this cover is just held on by 2 Phillips head screws, one in the back and then that one right here on the side. Next thing I'm going to do, all this over here is irrelevant because you won't see it because of the like the shifter section and everything, the center console. Now I'm going to flip the chair around and put the cover on the other side. Obviously this isn't fully clicked in or anything, but just lightly sitting on here. There's a little bit of a gap here, and this down here you really can't see when the seat is standing up, and this you really can't either. This is really the best you're going to get this to fit. This is the what do you call it? This is the STI side panel. You'll see I had to cut a U in here. This is just going to be a bunch of trial and error to make this work. You can see I nicked it a little bit there, but nothing you really are going to see or notice. But as far as all that goes, that's going to go on there like that. Obviously it's going to slip onto that tab, and this one up here is actually useless. It doesn't line up fully. But aside from that, I'm just going to click that in, and then we have the screw in the back, and then other than that, it's 100% ready to be installed. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head upstairs with it, and we're going to see if everything we did sits in there, fits in there, and does everything correctly. Alright everyone, got the seat upstairs, ready to go in the Legacy. Let's see how we do as far as everything goes with getting that seat right in here and making it work. Hopefully no airbag lights whatsoever. Now I know it's getting dark and everything. Obviously I want to get this in before it's dark. We're running on limited daylight. You want to be sure, to vacuum everything out from underneath of here so that everything's fully clean, because after you put your seat in, obviously you can't get to all that stuff. We have the seat fully in. Sti Seat on the passenger side is installed. This bolster looks a little weird, but whatever. As you can see, the holes line up. Just gotta shimmy it over some, and yeah, it is all in there. Come around to the back, everything's in there as well. Aside from that, it's just a matter of plugging everything in and bolting it up. So let me get that done now. Update, it's officially pitch black out. All we have is a street light and this one magnetic light. So what I'm going to show you is very crucial. You have your seatbelt and everything right here, and it comes down, and on the base here it needs to connect in here. Now that being said, you can hear if I push on it lightly, it hits that bolt. Now that's fine, but what's very important here is the overall way that this is in there. So if you look, I'm actually tightening it up a little more now. So the bolt slips in here. The way I did it was I had my dad actually pull this section out here to give me some space. It can take some because it's metal, but you just got to be careful not to overly pry, because if you try and lift it, like, it's not going to lift up, it's just going to block it. But you can get it in there. So leave it like this and just have someone pull it out, slip it down first to try and line it up with the threads. And you gotta make sure you're going in very straight and flat. You're almost gonna have your hand just like if you were laying it down like this and going in. That's how you're gonna be right here. That's exactly how I did it. Resting my hand here and just twisting. It is a pain, it's gonna take a few tries, but you will get it. I did that with the seat not bolted in. I actually wired it up. I would recommend doing it before you even put the wires in, so you have the maximum room to move it forward and everything. But as you can see, seat is in, all good to go. Obviously we don't have the cover panel on yet, it's over there with the floor mat. Other than that, I have the bolts laid out and the orientation they go in. Now it's just a matter of lining up everything to put it back in. So let me get the bolts in and we'll be all good. Okay everyone, this is the moment of truth. I have the battery connected and ready to go, and now all that's left is to test everything out. Really hope all this paid off. Here we go. Passenger seats in. Hopefully none of these airbags blow up on me. Hopefully that airbag light goes off. Oh yeah. No airbag light. And if I put my seatbelt on, that chime goes right away. Perfect. I am beyond happy with how everything came out here. It'll go back to chiming now because I unbuckled. Well everyone, that's how you do the driver and passenger. Check out my first video to see how you do the driver's seat. And this video that I just made to do the passenger seat. All I have left to do, you can't really see it, is just snap this finish panel on the side, make it look all perfect and pretty, and then we're done. Then the seat install is finished. I'm gonna get some leather rear seats to put in here, and that'll be the end of pretty much my interior until hopefully I get bags, and then we'll do a trunk setup video. And you know, a bunch of things left to come for this car. I know that it's a very small market. Everyone, you know, likes them. So definitely having the wagon. I'm really interested in making more videos for you guys. And I hope everyone enjoyed. And I hope this encourages you to, you know, kind of get out of your comfort zone and try something new. You know, really do something different. Not too many people have these, especially with no airbag lights on. So definitely get out there and give this a try.